All right, number 5, we have 2n cubed plus 10n squared minus 6, and we're seeing if n plus 1 is a factor of the dividend. All right, so let's get rolling here. I got my n plus 1. I got my division bar. Now inside's a little bit different this time. All right, I've got my 2n cubed. I've got my 10n squared, but I notice there's no n to the first power. So it would be really wise to add a placeholder, 0 n's. All right, so 2n cubed plus 10n squared plus 0 n's minus 6. And the reason why, it might help us with throughout the problem when we do our subtractions. You'll see. Let you decide, all right? But it's a really good idea to have that placeholder when we're missing n terms, all right? Certain n powers. Okay, so how many n's does it take to make 2n cubed? We're going to multiply that by 2n squared, right? All right, so 2n squared times n is 2n cubed. 2n squared times a positive 1 is a positive 2n squared. I'm going to subtract these guys. And a 10 minus 2, that gives us an 8n squared. But, oh, I forgot that 6 right here on the end, you guys. Sorry about that. Way on the end over here. I'm going to put that 6 right there. My bad. All right, now I'm going to bring down that plus 0n. All right, and again, I'm going to focus on this n and the 8n squared. What times n is 8n squared? That would be 8n, right? So I'm going to say plus 8n, that gives me 8n squared plus 8n, subtract them. All right, so now I have 0 minus a positive 8n, and that gives me negative 8n. All right, so that gives me my n spot. All right, that's missing. And it is necessary, all right? Bring down your minus 6. How many n's are negative 8n? Multiply that by negative 8, right? So minus 8, that gives me negative 8n minus 8. Subtract those guys, and a negative 6 minus negative 8 is positive 2. All right, be careful. And that's actually our remainder. All right, so we don't get a remainder of 0, which means n plus 1 is not a factor. All right, so back up the top. And the reason why it's not a factor is because we did not get a remainder of 0. Okay, so not too bad. Let's move on to number 6.